up, everybody? It's your boy Paris, aka Hakeem, from Gangsta Gone Legit, GGL. Welcome to another episode of Real Spit from a Gangsta Gone Legit. Today I got the homie Sean Pitts in the house. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
How you, man?
What's good? Always a pleasure, Pete.
Man, no doubt, man. Glad to have you, man. Let's start by telling the people, man, a little bit about yourself, your background. Where you come from? Where's your hood? What do you
Well, my hood where I came up in my Corby Street area, the original Corby Street 915 area, and you know, but that's a small part of where I come from, and you know, like, and the reason I say that, P, you know me, how we get deep and whatever, just more or less like, man, street shit don't define me. I never invested in it, so it's like, you know, when dudes say Sean from Corby, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, it's more or less like, but so far.
But that's where you are today.
Exactly. Yo, yeah. That's where I've been for years.
Right.
You know, that's where I've been for years. But it's just more or less like I would never accept somebody say, oh, Paris from Academy Paris. Nah, man.
That's my man.
Yeah, that's my man.
Right,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I get it.
You know, so pretty much, but that's where, when I ran the streets, that's who I ran with. Corby Street, yeah.
Gotcha. This format is about, so Gangsta Gone Legit is about formation. It's about transformation, right?
Yes, sir.
It's about brothers who have came up in the past, man. It may have been incarcerated, it may have been a street life, gang banging, selling drugs, whatever it is. But we're not glorifying any of those things. What we're trying to set the platform for is for what we're doing today, the legit side of it, and that's what this right here stands for, Gangsta Gone Legit. So anybody that you see on this segment, Real Spit is about telling the truth. So we're not going to be using scripts and all that. We're going to just let the brothers talk. So on that note, I know that Sean here, I know him personally. This is my bro now. And it's a funny thing because I'm going to start off, John, I'm going to bring it in. Okay, so I'm originally from Castlegate in Academy Homes. He's originally from Corby Street. So the funny thing, the reason I'm smiling is because back in the day, we couldn't have had no type of conversations like this because we were enemies. There's no ifs, ands about it. We were enemies. Today, are we enemies or what are we today, bro?
Yeah, you're like bro, man. I just say you're one of my best friends.
Like real talk. This is like a brother right here for real, love him.
Yeah,
so on that note, Sean, I'm gonna give you the microphone and figure of speech, of course, because there's no mic here. I'm gonna give you the mic so that you can talk and let us know, who you are, what you're doing, and what you're doing out here in these streets today, because you're doing a lot of positive things. No doubt. So let them know.
Yeah, so like I told you guys, man, about my past and where I come from that, so far as banging and selling drugs, did all that, but that's for a short period of my life. I never invested in gang culture. I never invested. It was an investment for me. That's why that's why I stabbed in, I stabbed out. And the streets is not nothing to invest in, period, point blank, And right for the past 27 years, man, I've been out here helping young brothers out of the streets, man, from working at DYS first I worked as regular staff, and I went on to be a caseworker, unit caseworker, and then I've been with the street work scope, man, for like 21 years. So I've dedicated my life, man, since me being in the streets. I dedicated, after I left the streets, I dedicated my life, man, to giving back to the younger brothers, man, trying to help them find their way. I started my journey, man, back in, I want to say like 93. 93, I started my journey so far as making that transition from being in the streets, man, from being hanging on court, banging, selling drugs, all that. So I started my journey like in 93, where I just didn't want no more. Got tired of seeing the death. Got tired of, seeing my brothers, man, going to jail for life. And it was just more or less like, no, I know I didn't want that for me. So just more or less like, so it was, I had to make that transition and I did. It's like more or less like, and we talked about this the other day, where you asked me, you said, why did I stop, doing things, doing the shit I was doing.
Right.
I want to live a long life, man. I want to one day be a grandfather, and that's it, simple and plain, man. Either you want to live or you want to die, And like I said, the streets is nothing to invest in, and so it was just more or less I dedicated my life to trying to help these younger brothers out, rather me, helping these guys, helping a lot of them get into different programs that's gonna help them get out of the streets, man. So far as job readiness programs, construction, getting them into the unions, and just some dudes have substance abuse issues, man. I got them in programs, man, to help them out with that. So it's just more or less dedicated my life, man, to helping young brothers out.
So you don't just have a street worker job. You actually take that position and you help these brothers find work. You help them. You get in the programs, and you've helped them change their lives. I know you and I spoke a couple of times, and you told me that there was a couple of young brothers that are active in the streets, and you were able to get them to diffuse their situations.
No doubt.
And I applaud that. I think that's admirable, because there's a lot of OGs out here that are not taking that role as we should. I believe we all should do that. And I really think that what you're doing, man, I want the world to see this and acknowledge this, because it's major. And if we have more brothers that will come together and use the knowledge that they've learned over the years, and tell these brothers what is right and wrong. And like, my thing is this: when someone asks me anything about the streets, bro, what I've learned the most is that the streets don't love no one. Right. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Right. So my take on it is, I was loyal to the streets by default, bro. Like, I played by the codes, I played by the rules, and it didn't do nothing but, for lack of a better word, fuck me in the ass, basically. Just like that. I said it the way it is, because, it showed me that that shit is all fake. So what you're doing, bro, I admire, because not only you don't talk about it, you're actually being about it. You're walking that walk. And I want them to know about something else you've done. Back in '95, let everybody know what happened in '95 in Boston, and then I'm gonna get back to the question of what you're doing today with that. All right? But what happened in '95 in Boston when gang violence was at its height? Let them know what happened.
Well, what happened was, I got to give props to Benzino, for coming up with the idea of getting a super group with all the, a member from each gang that was banging against each other. At the same time, we wanted to make a dope album, but we also wanted to curb some of the violence, because it was crazy back in it,
So what was the movement called?
It was called the Wise Guys movement, yeah. And like I said, Wise Guys was not just a regular rap group, it was a movement, sort of what you guys are doing with GGL. And that's why I said, don't get me wrong, love you and Belly on Mike, but I support y'all because, like you said, it's more than just a clothes, it's a lifestyle.
And
it's like the same model as what Benzino's vision with Wise Guys. And what we was able to accomplish, man, we stopped the violence, man, by like 90%, man. There was no more gang murders, man. Like, we had all the dudes, man, who was shooting at each other. They was in that group, and it was tough.
Right.
It was tough, man. It wasn't a cakewalk, but when we got it right, man. You know what I'm saying? So here we are 24 years later. I just recently started back to Wise Guys. We got an album out right now called WTG Nation. And this time what we did was we went by neighborhoods. Like, you didn't have to gangbang to be part of this project, but we didn't exclude anybody who was doing gangbanging. So it was like we had a mix of both. We had dudes who were still active and dudes who were just from the hood, you know, who could really rap, but they still got them street ties. And we put a dope project together, man. We got the first project back in 95. 95 had like 13 different hoods, you know. This one right here, this project right here that we just released, WTG Nation. We got 30 different hoods.
Wow,
man.
that's big.
You know, dudes from 30 different hoods, man. So across Boston, you know, across the city. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, some dudes are active, some dudes are not, you know. And they just wanted to contribute, man, and say, listen, man, we want to show the love. We love Wise Guys. We was fans back then, and, you know, and we put a pretty, you know, tight project together, man, and there was a lot of unity, you know, with this project, you know. So I wish we could have touched the real younger dudes, but like I said, we just got started.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we just got started, man.
So is the mission today in 2020 the same as it was in 95? Are you looking to get a truce in these streets and to get the brothers to come together?
Oh yeah, exactly the same framework and the same mission that was back then. The real Boston Miracle, the real Boston Miracle, man. You know, because the reason I say that is there's, you know, like the you know, the clergy and the police and you know, all the city officials, they want to take credit for the work we did. But since the Rise Guy Project, man, went into, you know, I'm not gonna say it, after it ended, from that stretch from 95 to I'm gonna say like 99. Ever since then, man, there's been more and more violence.
Right.
There's been more and more killings, more gangs forming. Where y'all at?
Right.
You know, but when we ended the group, man, when the group ended and the project ended, back in '99, you know, that right there showed what was the real success. Even though everybody else ate off it, you know, the city, the state, the city ate great off it. You know, Boston was known as this great model city, and but at the same time, it's like, okay, where y'all at now? You know, so that's why, like, 'cause if everything was going so good, and everybody who took the credit that, you know, who got paid for it, it wouldn't be necessary for us to do it again. For me to this day to be, you know, doing it again.
Right,
you know
start it over.
Yeah, shout out to Mantera and M3, Bellnell Mike, all my brothers, man, who came together to help put this project together. So, man, you know, and everybody who's on the project, man, you know, there's too many to name, you know. And another thing, shout out to all the designers, man, from GGL to all the cast, man, you know, who's trying to do it, who's trying to make it the legit way, because that's what this is all about, man. You know, we doing things legit.
Real talk. Look, man, I gotta say that first Wise Guys album was a classic. I loved it. There was nothing but bangers on it. But you let me hear a few songs the other day on the new stuff, and man, I'm proud. Like, the work you put in, brother, is real big. It's dope. And I just hope that this one is able to do the same thing. Actually, I hope that this one has more of an impact than the first time, you know, and we can really, because the whole thing behind this mission with Gangsta Gone Legit, with Wise Guys, and we talked about this, so I know when I say this is for both of us. We both think the same way with it. Yeah. We just want to save one of these brothers' lives. Is that right?
No, yeah, exactly,
absolutely,
man.
right?
Exactly. If you save one, man, you know, that's
we did our job.
We're getting somewhere.
Absolutely.
We can save one.
Absolutely.
Going back to the albums, and the Company of Killers, like you said, is a hood classic. And, you know, dudes was young, you know, like, just going, like, you know. We knew we couldn't do another album like that. Because, first of all, dudes are older now.
Right.
Dudes are older now. And it's like, we still can make a street, but mature streets.
Right.
You know, back then, dudes was just young and ferocious and just, we'd tear your head off, and cause that's what they was coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of them. But now it's just more or less like, yo, let's make a street album, but we're gonna hit every topic possible, man. And we're gonna rap about the streets without glorifying selling death, man, and selling violence. You know what I'm saying? And you listen to that album, man, you hear street shit, but you don't hear a whole bunch of I want to kill you, and you hear a lot of messages.
Right.
Like, yo, listen, we doing, if you live this lifestyle, this is what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, So mostly every song has a message to it, man.
Speaking of messages, right? I would like you to look into the camera and tell them right now. If I want you to tell the young people out there right now, if you have one thing to say as far as them changing their lives, what would you offer to them to get them to stop killing each other, stop gang banging? Like, what would you say to them?
Listen, right? My message to the young cats, man, is more or less like, stop investing in the streets, man. Streets do not love you, man. They never loved you, and they never will love you, man. Try to find a way, man, to get out, man. Invest in some property, invest in some stocks, and But listen, the streets. I'm telling you, firsthand, man. The streets don't love you, man. I've personally lost so much to the streets, and I don't want that for y'all, man. We can all tell that same story, man, but I don't want that for y'all, man. So, just think about it, man. Streets don't love you, man. Stop thinking you can invest your life into the streets, man, rather than selling drugs or gangbanging, man. Creating, keeping up the genocide. Let's get out. That's whack, man. That's not gangster.
Here we go.
That's not gangster. Gangster is when you're not doing that. When you're trying to help save lives, you're pulling your brother up. That's gangster.
Right.